I have in front of me KWA's ATP. I really enjoy gas blowback pistols, and I enjoy them for two reasons. First of all, I really enjoy real steel pistols, and playing with these gas blowback pistols offers me a similar shooting experience that I get with my real steel pistols. And the second reason why I really enjoy gas blowback pistols is because it helps me train to use my real steel pistol. The operation and mechanics of using a gas blowback pistol are almost exactly the same as those of a real steel pistol. You get all the elements of realism that make this a great training weapon to supplement your real steel training with. You can learn trigger control, drawing from a holster, reload, sight acquisition, all of that's available to you to enhance, kind of refine, develop consistency with, and practice getting good at shooting a real pistol. For those reasons, I really enjoy playing with gas blowback pistols. Why would you consider purchasing an ATP? First of all, this offers you a great option for a secondary weapon, something to back up your primary AEG. Secondly, this is a great primary weapon for CQB games or for pistol-only games, especially considering the fact that KWA offers, from the factory, extended capacity magazines, making this a great option for CQB. The third reason why you might consider purchasing an ATP is as a Glock or any other striker-fired pistol training platform. That being said, there are a lot of similarities between the ATP and real steel Glocks that make it an excellent choice for your training needs. Starting from the front, you've got the accessory rail that accepts similar accessories to a Glock, albeit I wouldn't use the real steel training, the real steel accessories. I would use replicas like this Insight Technologies / Surefire M3. The dimensions on the accessory rail are just a little bit thicker on this, making it really tough to get real steel accessories on and off. I found that out the hard way with a real steel Surefire X300. Got it on there. Trying to get it off was a huge pain in the butt, and I almost had to destroy this to actually get a hold of it again. The trigger guard is the same shape as a Glock. You've got the very familiar Glock trigger safety. You've got your magazine release in the same position and roughly the same shape. Slide release, takedown pins. Most importantly, you've got the same the same grip angle as a real steel Glock. And the thing that makes that great is that when you're training, you'll be able to develop the same kind of muscle memory between your training pistol and your real steel pistol. And just to show you a comparison there, I've got my tried and true Glock 19 that I run IDPA with and carry for defensive purposes. You can see right there, same grip angle, the accessory rail, the trigger guard shape, the trigger, magazine release, slide release, all very, very similar. Let's talk about the chassis material and construction of this ATP. We're going to start from the bottom. The lower receiver is made out of a really high quality ABS type plastic, and there's no give in this thing whatsoever. I mean, it's rock solid. It's not, I guess, the same quality as you would see on a real steel Glock or a real steel polymer framed pistol, but it doesn't have to be, because it doesn't have to take the abuse and doesn't have to handle the forces that a real steel gun does. This backstrap here is removable and interchangeable depending on how thick you want it for your personal grip. I just left the one that came on there because it really works for me in terms of getting a good grip on it. The upper receiver, the slide, is made out of a nice light aluminum, so you get that metal tactile feel and that metal durability just like the real steel, but it doesn't add a whole bunch of weight so that you get reliable last shot hold open like you really want to. If this slide starts to get too heavy, you start to lose that feature because it doesn't blow it back quite enough to engage that slide release, if you can see what I'm talking about right there. It's really cool that this takes down a lot like the real steel. With this, you just pull down on these two retainer pins right there, and it slides right off. And inside it looks really similar to the real one with this recoil spring and the external barrel right there. A lot of this stuff is different. Obviously, there's no chamber to fire real rounds. Here's a nice shot of the lower receiver. And the insides look eerily like a real Glock, which is really cool. Obviously, all of this stuff is different because even though this simulates a striker-fired pistol, it is a hammer-fired kind of design here. To put it together, just like the real steel, you just line up these slides, and you're good to go. You can do a little drive, and you can do a little functions check here. Overall, chassis construction and the design of this externally is really, really great. Couldn't ask for anything more in a good replica. That brings me to ergonomics. Ergonomically, this thing is great. It feels a lot like a Glock. It has the same grip angle as a real steel Glock. The trigger on the ATP perfectly replicates a striker-fired pistol. Two of the major differences are that the bore axis is a little bit higher. I don't know if you can see here, but I'm going to bring in my Glock 19 again just to show you that when you're looking at it from the back, the Glock offers a slightly lower bore axis. That means where the barrel is and where your recoil is when you're holding it are a little bit different. This one is really, really low, and this one is a little bit higher. So that's a slight difference there. And this is a little bit cramped in terms of using it with a pistol with gloves on, especially if you're used to shooting without gloves. But it's just a training issue, not a huge thing. Ergonomically, this thing is great and does its job perfectly. Another thing I like about this replica is the weight. It is not very heavy. The way you see it right now, with no gas, no BBs, magazine inserted, it weighs just under 1 pound 10 ounces, which is a really great weight for a pistol. Compare that to my Glock 19 loaded to capacity. That weighs 1 pound 14 ounces. So not only is it lightweight, but it's also very comparable with these heavy magazines to what your real steel pistol will be, complete with rounds in the magazine and in the chamber. Internally, this gun offers a very reliable and replicatable and consistent hop-up. The only gripe with the hop-up is that it's a little bit of a bear to adjust, no more so than any other gas blowback, but what you need to do to adjust it is engage those serrated teeth there with a proprietary tool that KWA does supply you with. But it does require removing the magazine, so it does take some time to really dial in your hop-up well. Once it is dialed in, however, it offers great consistency, and you only really need to tune it up every other game or so. Magazines are great, super reliable on this thing. I do recharge my gas magazines between every game, but if I do find myself in a situation like during Operation Irene or something like that, or any kind of extended military simulation where I do have the opportunity to reload these things in the middle of a game, I'm very confident that I can get 2, maybe 3 magazine dumps out of one refill. Magazines are some of the most important aspects of a gas blowback pistol, and this one offers a couple of really cool design features that I'd like to share with you guys for your consideration here. The first one is that you can access the fill valve right there, you can see it, without removing this rubber stopper. But if you do want to remove the rubber stopper, it's very easy to do. You just pull down on that and out it comes. To put it back, you just pull that again, slide it back on, no problem. And to fill up the magazine with BBs, the follower actually does lock back, which makes it so easy. And when you're ready to play, you just push that, your BBs come under tension, and you're ready to roll. The sights on the ATP are adjustable, and if you're picky about point of impact, point of aim like I am, I don't like following my BBs, it takes too much time, you can adjust the front sight for windage just like I have. This gun, for a gas blowback pistol with a very short barrel, is very accurate and very consistent for me. It does take a long time to really dial in that hop up and get it the right way, and you need to, take time to adjust your sights. But once you do get it dialed in, you can engage torso-sized targets at 100 feet, no problem whatsoever. Sometimes even further than that. And a lot of times when you're going to be using your pistol, it's as a last-ditch kind of effort to, cover your buddies, or using it in a CQB environment. It is absolutely accurate in those types of situations. Aftermarket parts and accessories, there's a ton of them. Glocks are one of the most popular handguns in the world. That in mind, universal holsters will accept this with no problem. Serpas fit with no problems whatsoever. Really adds a lot of value, if you ask me, when I can put this in my favorite holster, the Serpa. Two things to keep in mind that I do have personal experience with. If you want a Blade Tech light-bearing holster, the KWA ATP will not fit. Even if you get, for example, a Glock 17 holster with a fitment for an Insight Technologies M3, this won't fit. At least not in the Blade Techs that I've used. Another thing is that this will not fit in a Blade Tech Viking Tactics thumb drive holster. KWA has excellent factory support. There are KWA forums with KWA certified technicians there to answer any kind of questions you might have, and KWA does a great job of both A, honoring the factory warranties that they do have, and B, if this thing does break and it is beyond your capability to fix it, you can send it back to KWA and they will fix it for you for a fee. But the benefit of that is that you have professional airsmiths who know the insides and outs of this system like the back of their hands, doing this work for you, which is phenomenal. I've been using this airsoft pistol for the past 3 seasons with great success. I've had no problems with the magazines, no problems with the hop-up or the gun itself. Honestly, it's been a really great piece of equipment. Having said that, the gun lasted me for 3 seasons so far, and I'm expecting a 4th season to go just as well. At around $130 for the gun itself and $35 for the magazine, it offers, in my opinion, a really great value. Buy quality, buy once, and forget about it. Doc's diagnosis for the KWA ATP is a 9 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, engage in the comments, let me know what you guys think, let me know about any questions you might have. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more from Dr. Milsim.
Got it on tape too.